Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by mountains, lived a 24-year-old young man named Marco. Marco's mind was never still. Thoughts rushed in and out all day long, memories of the past that hurt him, fears about the future that worried him. His mind felt like a storm that never ended. Because of this constant thinking, he couldn't sleep well, couldn't relax, and had almost forgotten how to smile. One day, Marco heard about a distant village hidden deep in the hills. People said a wise old man lived there, someone who had once been a famous psychologist in the city. He had spent his life helping people find peace in their minds, and when he grew old, he left the noisy city and chose a quiet life close to nature. Sometimes, he still guided visitors who came seeking wisdom. Marco felt a spark of hope. Maybe this man can help me, he thought. So he decided to make the long journey. After many days of traveling through rough paths and cold nights, Marco finally reached the hill village. There, he found a small house covered in green vines. His face was calm, so peaceful that it felt like the world around him had paused. Marco stepped forward and whispered, "Grandfather, my mind is very restless. I cannot stop thinking. I want peace in my heart. Can you help me?" The old man slowly opened his eyes and smiled softly. "So, you seek peace? Then come with me. I will give you a small task." He led Marco to the backyard, filled a glass completely to the brim with water, and handed it to him. "Walk from here to the edge of the village and come back," the old man said. "But remember, don't spill even a single drop." Marco was surprised, but determined. He held the glass carefully and began walking. The road was narrow and full of noise. Children were playing, shopkeepers were shouting to customers, dogs barked loudly, and people hurried past. But Marco didn't look at any of it. His eyes stayed fixed on the glass of water. Step by step, slowly and carefully, he walked through the entire village. Finally, he returned to the old man and said proudly, "Grandfather, I did it. I didn't spill a single drop." The old man nodded with a gentle smile. "That's good," he said. "But tell me, did you see the children playing? Did you hear the dogs barking?" Marco looked confused. "No, I didn't see or hear anything. I was only focused on the glass." The old man smiled again, his eyes shining with wisdom. "That is the secret, my child. It was always inside you. When your mind stays in the present moment, there is no space for fear, no space for confusion, and no space for unnecessary thoughts." He continued softly. "When you were focused only on the water, your mind became completely quiet. You were not remembering your past, and you were not worried about your future. That's silence. That's stillness. That is peace." Slowly, Marco understood. Peace is not something we search for outside. Peace is something we create inside when we bring our mind back to the present moment. With gratitude, Marco bowed his head and said, "Grandfather, now I understand. If I want a calm mind, I must live in this moment. That is where true peace lives." The old man smiled warmly as the sun began to set. The sky turned golden, birds returned to their nests, and a cool breeze passed through the trees. Marco walked back home not as the same restless young man, but as someone transformed. His heart felt lighter, his mind clearer, and for the first time in years, he smiled. He had discovered how to quiet the storm inside. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel Inspire with Stories for more inspiring stories like this. Thank you for watching. See you in the next story with new thoughts and new lessons. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay peaceful.